Hello, everybody. Hey, Cal Banyan back with another podcast. And you know what? This is going to be even more interesting. The time before, I got some surprises in store for you. But first off, let me tell you that this is coming to you from calbanyan.com. And we also post it on other places on the web, such as, our new blog and new website, calbanyan at, let me get this right, calbanyan.ourhypnospace.com. And you can also pick it up on other places like Google Video and Blip TV and stuff like that. So if you're watching it at another location besides calbanyan.com, you want to go there so you can see the information that I'm putting right down there. Okay. Speaking of right down there, you'll see me glance down once in a while. That's because I'm looking at a computer screen, and no surprise in this day and age, so I can, keep track of, make sure I cover everything I want to cover. Okay, let's see. Boy, I got a lot done already in the first few seconds. Let me just delete that. All right. Today we're going to do something new, as I said before. I hope everything goes well. If you like what we did today, please email me at calbanyan@hypnosiscenter.com, and we'll bring more of this kind of video information to you. What we're doing is right now we've got our usual kind of video set up here in my office. You guys are used to that. And then we've got a video camera set up remote near Dallas, Texas, where Celeste Hackett, a really great hypnotherapist, a 5-path graduate, is videotaping herself as we talk on the phone over the speakerphone. Then it's going to get all edited together and become the program that you're watching today. So it's going to be like a little hypnosis television show, and there might be a little bit of a learning curve here, but we'll get it under control and improve with every edition. All right, let me tell you a little bit about Celeste Hackett. I'm delighted to have the opportunity to interview her. As I said, she's a 5-pather. She's a dedicated hypnotherapist. Celeste, as I said, is in Dallas, Texas. She's been very active in our Yahoo groups. She runs a 5-path hypnotist, so graduates on the internet study group where they go through the Banyan. The Banyan. Don't help me out, John. BOLSM, Banyan Online Supervision Meeting CDs. Oh, God. There's something about having a different camera in front of me that's making me nervous, but I know I'll loosen up here and be fine, and I'm sure Celeste is happy to know that I'm a little bit nervous. I don't know why. I do this every week. Let's see. Looking at my notes. By the way, after you meet Celeste Hackett here on the video, I want to highly recommend her if you know someone in the Dallas area that is, and she's going to tell you exactly where she's located, who's interested in hypnosis training or learning 7-path self-hypnosis or for hypnosis sessions. Her websites are familyfirsthypnosis.com, and of course she's got a new ourhypnospace.com website also. That's www.familyfirsthypnosis.ourhypnospace.com. And again, on calbanyan.com, right down there, we got the links to everything that we'll be talking about. All right, I got through that. Now I can kind of turn it over to Celeste. Celeste, say hello and tell us a little bit about what you did before you got into the hypnosis profession.
Well, first of all, I just want to thank you for letting me be here. It's a very big honor to be interviewed by the hypno genius himself, Cal Banyan. Well, I'm from Louisiana, and I started a radio career at the age of 17. I had my own radio show, just a little radio show in central Louisiana. But from there, because it went pretty well, I actually ended up just growing my radio profession, I guess, my business. And I ended up going, traveling a little bit. I did radio shows and worked for radio stations in New Orleans, and then I worked nationwide via satellite for ABC, and then I worked in Houston. And the whole time I was working in radio, I really wanted to do something to help people during this time, because you talk to so many people on the phone. You know, it's not just they don't just call in for requests. You end up talking to them for different reasons, interviews and so on. Or if you're doing a love show or an advice show, you end up talking to a lot of different people on the phones. Well, over the 24 years that I did this, I really got an idea of just how much suffering there is in the world, and how the human condition could, really use a new influx of information and energy into it. And so what I ended up doing after my last radio announcer job in Houston is I started looking around for some way that I could maybe start being of service. But I didn't want to do anything. I wanted to do something that would really help people change. And from all that I saw, some of the things that people were using already really weren't helping that much, or they were just helping some people with some things. And so I started researching how people really make change, and everything pointed to the subconscious mind. And then I started researching how to access the subconscious mind and help people to change using the subconscious mind, and everything pointed to hypnosis. And so I ended up just taking a hypnosis class in Houston, and then after that I kind of felt like I needed more training. And to make a long story very, very short, I ended up getting Cal Banyan's training, your training, Cal. And first I got it on DVD, which when I saw you working and doing age regression, I just got off of my couch and I went up to the screen and I went, oh my God, what is he doing? How is he doing this? And I was just sucking it all in, and just fell in love with 5-path right off, and just knew I had to learn how to do it. Then I went to the training in Minnesota, and I was like Shrek's donkey, because I was right there in the front row going, oh, I want to be your friend. I want you to show me this. I want to learn this. And I think you got pretty aggravated with me. At one point I have this memory of you throwing a pencil in the air going, God, please, woman. Or something like that. But I was so enthusiastic about it, and I tell you, every day I just get more enthusiastic about it. I'm still like the donkey. I'm still bothering Cal. And so much so that I ended up starting a 5-path study group of his Balsam CDs, the Banyan Online Supervision CDs he was talking about. And any 5-pather can join that, and I write for the e-zine. My articles, or I guess it's almost like a quarterly column, is called The Frugal but Professional Practice. I sort of target people who are getting into the profession, who don't have a lot of money, and they're trying to start real basic, like out of their home, because originally I started in my apartment, and that was really cool. And so that's a little bit about me, Cal, probably more than you wanted to hear.
Wow. That's a really good start there, Celeste. I think the viewers now are getting an idea why I selected Celeste for this first video interview. I knew she'd make it easy for me, and I wouldn't have to say very much. Can you imagine having her in class? I thought about throwing the eraser at her. I don't know what I threw at her. But, seriously, I'm really glad to have you here. I really appreciate your enthusiasm. We really love you here at the Banyan Hypnosis Center, and we look forward to doing more projects with you in the future. So, with that, let's get rolling on in the interview. And I've got a couple questions here that, a few questions really, that I want to ask you. Tell me a little bit more about, your hypnosis practice. I know, by the way, if people want to see a little tour of where your practice is, you've got that on your blog, and we'll put a link with this video for that so people can take a look at it. But tell us a little bit about your practice, where you're located, and your clientele, that kind of thing.
Okay, well, I started out, like I said, in my apartment complex, and and because of this, and because I was really just so nervous, I didn't have any psychology training or anything like that, just radio training. And because of that, I was really pretty scared to be doing hypnosis. So what I ended up doing was really taking notes about my journey, with myself, confidence, and so on. And that's how the e-zine article started. And then from the apartment complex, I ended up getting this little house. That's how well the business did. And I served the Plano area, but also, I'm in Plano, but I serve Fort Worth and Dallas. And I see a lot of clients outside of this area. People fly up or drive up from Houston. I've seen people from Oklahoma and north and west and southwest and northeast Texas and all over the place, because there's just not a lot of people really providing the kind of hypnosis services that I'm able to provide.
As you're talking about this, I'm wondering, are there some issues that you work with more than others, or issues that you like to work with more than others?
Well, you know, I work with all the issues that any hypnotist gets: weight loss and stop smoking and hair pulling and nail biting and different sorts of addictions and compulsions and sadness or depression. I get a lot of referrals from psychologists and psychiatrists and doctors, and so I work with the issues that they refer to me. You know, for instance, depression, which we normally call, you know, habitual sadness. But really what I like to work with probably most of all is any emotional issue. If somebody comes in and they're just very sad, you know, they're grieving, I can help them through that. If they're, you know, feeling really guilty about something they did, I can help them with that. But I've been seeing lately a lot of people who are dealing with anger and anger issues. And I really enjoy working with anger.
What is it you like about working with anger?
Probably because I myself have had an anger issue in the past that was pretty severe, and was able to work through it, and I learned a lot from my own journey, and then adding 5-Path to what I know about my own anger issue. I've really been able to help people a lot with it. I think that's what I probably like the most, but I like it all.
So Celeste, do you use the Secret Language of Feelings book, that principle, those theories in your practice?
Yes, I certainly do. As a matter of fact, I'm holding up the Secret Language of Feelings right now. You see? The book itself, I use the Secret Language of Feelings, the book. I've read the book, I've internalized the book, and any hypnotist who works with people in a hypnosis environment, or even psychologists, even mamas, should get this book and read this book and know what it says. It's the best thing for helping people understand their emotions and what drives them, and helping them to find resolve on their emotional issues.
As a hypnotherapist, how does it help you?
Well, what I do, you know, is before I ever put somebody in hypnosis for the first time, I teach them how to work with their emotions, and I teach them how to do 1, 2, 3 with their emotions. And I mean, this can get really deep, Cal, but how much do you want me to say? We could do a whole thing on the Secret Language of Feelings, because it's very deep and pretty broad, and But just to let you know, we teach them how to work with their emotions in the conscious state, you know, just walking around when they're sad. They learn how to deal with their sadness. Sadness means that they've lost something. So we teach them, for instance, with sadness, that if they can find something to replace what they lost, then they're going to feel better. And with anger, we teach them to do a reality check. Is it really unfair? Because anger always means that we are perceiving something as being unfair. And so if they can see that actually maybe it wasn't all that unfair, they were just in a bad mood, then automatically they feel better. But if they find that it really was unfair, then we teach them that the anger, that feeling, is there to help and guide them to actually do something to make things fair. So it's that kind of a thing. That's the way we work initially in the first session with their feelings. We teach them how to do this. And Cal, you know, your video has been perfect for that. All my clients see the video on the Secret Language of Feelings. And then once we're in the session, of course feelings come up. You know, especially during the second phase of the work that we do, which is age regression, where we're taking people back to scenes that have affected them and been part of the cause of their problem. And when we're in those events, we can help them to understand their feelings, or we get a better understanding of what exactly is driving the problem.
Great. Hey, you know, I can see you've really got an understanding that, you know, the Secret Language of Feelings is really an important part of the underlying philosophy and operant theories of 5-Path. I'm wondering if you could, a couple of things I'd like to really get on this video today, and that is, one, if you could tell us about an interesting case, and I'll spring the other thing on you later.
Oh, you are springing some stuff on me. You know, I'm going to be a CFI, but it's not until September, Cal. I'm going to be a certified professional hypnosis instructor, for those of you that don't know. I'll be training in July. And so, you know, I haven't ever actually been interviewed or anything, or talked to an audience about the Secret Language of Feelings, just my clients one-on-one. But I'll go into a client that I thought was really interesting. It was one of my clients whose husbands had had an affair on her. And, of course, she came in with multiple emotions causing her to be unhappy. She wanted to stay in the marriage. They had had a great marriage for about 20 years, and then because she was very busy with some family issues and not very present emotionally. And it went on for a while. He got really, he felt neglected. And so he ended up having an affair, which he immediately felt horrible about and was very repentant. And so she really wanted to forgive him. And so a bunch of feelings came into play. And because of the secret language of feelings, I was really able to help her. And so she felt guilty because she knew that she had something to do with this, at least in some way. She had helped to create the environment in which he had ended up having the affair. She felt sad because it was a real loss to her. They had both been virgins when they got married. And she was very, very angry, but she kept trying to really deny it. And because I knew the secret language of feelings, I knew that she thought that this was very unfair what he did. And as a hypnotist, that's the great thing about learning how to internalize this information in the book that Cal Banyan wrote. Because if somebody says to you, oh, you know, when you're doing your session, oh, that's unfair and that makes me sad. Well, yeah, they might be feeling sad, but you also know that they're also mad. And so I helped her to get in touch with her anger so she could release it and get free of it. And then, of course, we worked through some fear about possibly him doing it again. By the time she went through all these sessions, it's 5 phases, but we usually use 4, and we did use 4 with her. By the time she got done, she was just a changed person. She came in so sad, just so quiet, so embarrassed to be coming to a hypnotist to get resolve on this problem. And she was so mad that her husband did this to her that she had to come and see me. And by the time she got done, she was so happy and so much more in love. And another thing happened for her. Before, every time they had sex, all she could do was see that woman with her husband. And by the time she left, she didn't even think about that woman anymore when they were having sex. So she was quite happy.
Beautiful. So it sounds like the forgiveness work was a really important part of her healing and being able to get what she wanted. Is that right?
Oh, it was just huge. It was just huge. And to just, not only when you do this work do you, see people change, but you feel it. You feel something resonating with you. It's like the energy in the room was so big and it felt so good. I felt so relieved with her.
It's kind of obvious that forgiveness work needed to be done there. I'm curious, can you recall anything interesting about the age regression work? And did the age regression take you back before she found out that her husband had had the affair?
If I recall, yes. Her mother... Her mother was married to a man, her father actually, of course, that had multiple affairs. Yeah, and so she had to work through the anger at her father, and that was pretty big. And she felt because her mother was so sad and so upset all this time, her mother made her into more of a friend, and so she was also angry at her mother because she had to be so grown up at age 10 just to help her mother through this stuff. And so, she lost her father, the kind of relationship she had hoped to have with her father, so she was sad about that. And she had also been putting too much time into the relationship with her son because she believed that was a safe relationship, and he was about 6 years old, and her husband also felt very neglected in that way. And so once she, went through all the different changes by seeing how she had come to have some of the beliefs that she had, she was able to just put her son in a more of a she was more in the role of a mother instead of a friend with her own son, and she felt safer really being there emotionally with her husband. So I don't know if I said that very well, but
yeah, Celeste, you're getting just at the point I want to, is, another therapist might go, oh, okay, here's this lady, she's come in, she's angry with her husband, let's do forgiveness work. But what you really pointed out is, they only think they're coming in to do this work on their the specific issue. Really, you're able to go back and find out, something that was even more important, and that is, she had to do work with her mom and work with her dad, and so the age regression work really laid the foundation for her to do, the age regression work was really important for her to do the first before she does the forgiveness work, and then of course after that, just for everybody that's listening, if you don't know anything about 5-Path, phase 1 is a preparation, testing, and convincing phase. We make sure they're going to somnambulism. Phase 2 is age regression, and phase 3 is forgiveness of others. phase 4 is forgiveness of self, and then for those who have what we call secondary gain, we have a phase 5, which is a special form of parts mediation therapy. So, and then Celeste, you went on and you did some self-forgiveness, right?
Yeah, we went on to do self-forgiveness. As a matter of fact, without the age regression, I don't know that she would have even believed that she had anything to do with this problem at all. She didn't really see how it was connected to her really pulling away from her husband and spending more time with her son. She just thought she was a very, very good mother. But then as she looked back, it dawned on her, that she was really just not being more in a parent role with her own son, but just going to him for affection and love more than she would really go to her husband. And it had gotten worse over the years.
Beautiful. Anything you can say to wrap up that case before I move on to the next thing?
No, I think we pretty much covered it all. Except she emailed me and she's extremely happy, and they're together, and we say, the work we did saved the family.
Beautiful. And you also, I'm sure that's going to ripple out to her relationship with her parents if they're still alive, her relationship with her son, and all that kind of stuff. What I want to know now, and I like to throw in some things that maybe you're not ready for.
Oh no!
A test question. No.
Oh
no! You write this article about this series on BanyanHypnosisMall.com on the Banyan easing, and it's on really how to get started on a shoestring. And I'm wondering if you can give maybe 1 or 2 quick tips to the viewers, because I know a lot of people are starting off, and they weren't able to start off like we did with a 2,000 and then 4,000 square foot office and that kind of thing. What kind of recommendations can you give our viewers? Like, walk away from watching this video and implement to make starting on a shoestring a little more feasible.
Well, you just need to see clients, and even if my belief is, and I know that I'm one of the few hypnotists that hold this thought, I believe that if you feel so scared of being a hypnotist that you do it for free. Just get in front of some people acting as if you're a hypnotist. You'll be a hypnotist, you'll be certified, but at first you just don't feel like one. And so I think it's perfectly fine for a few weeks, even a few months, to just do, direct suggestion and just say, oh, close your eyes, we're going to do hypnosis now, and then just start pulling out scripts and reading them. Pull out a script, even if, just pull out, Cal Banyan's got the greatest script for inductions that known to man. You just read the thing, that's all you have to do, and then just pull out some other scripts for whatever the issue is. Now, I'll be honest with you, you're not going to see a whole lot of change. This was my problem with my original training, and it's the problem with a lot of original training for hypnotists.
What, when you're doing just direct suggestion hypnosis alone?
Yeah, it's just direct suggestion hypnosis, but you know what? It makes you get more and more comfortable acting like a hypnotist and being in front of people. And you will see some change which will inspire you and excite you. And so then you'll be inspired to do, some of this stuff that's a little bit harder. And the other thing that I suggest is that as soon as you get your training, you don't just sit there like a voyeur and watch other people write in to the message board. And for those of you who don't know, Cal Banyan has a message board specifically for 5-pathers. Join it, start writing in, make friends with the hypnotists, because you get to email them. Their private emails are right there. Every hypnotist I ever emailed when I was first starting out, they were so friendly and so nice. Nobody's going to bite you. Just email them. Maybe they'll even give you their phone number. Maybe you can have a friend who's a hypnotist who's better than you that you can talk to. And most people are supportive and encouraging. And if they're going to be mean to you, which they won't be, I'll be your friend. So you got my phone number. It's on my website. Give me a call, and if I can call you back and talk to you, I will. And then I would suggest that right away, as soon as you can, that you join the 5-Path study group, because all of us who are doing this, we felt just like you getting started, and we're all doing great, and we're there to support and encourage each other, and we're more than willing and ready to reach back and help anybody just starting out. So yeah, just start. If you have to pretend like you're a hypnotist, do it. Put up some flyers, and say, hypnosis, here's my phone number. That's what I suggest.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Celeste, so are you still doing sessions for free now?
No. No. I never did 5-Path for free, except I did it on my husband briefly. when I very first learned, and I learned that was a mistake. So he's still not fixed, but he's pretty good anyway, so I think I'll keep him the way he is. But I was really just doing direct suggestion like that after a long hiatus between the last training that I got before I was ready to incorporate 5-path. I made a decision in my mind, and this is another tip, you know, give yourself a goal. My goal was January the 1st, 2006, I was going to start charging money. And then I got Maureen Banyan's business pack so that I'd know how to talk to the people on the phone when they called in. She does an excellent job of actually teaching you how to do that. But you know, it's not a bad thing to do some pro bono work. You know, hypnosis isn't the only way to make people feel better. That's why God gave us friends. So if you are just doing direct suggestion and you're nice to people, I mean, that's something. It's nothing really to sneeze at. But I do think that you should give yourself a goal and decide when you're going to start charging money.
So you were able to eventually generate a full-time income?
Oh, absolutely. The first month I was in business, well, what happened, Cal, is it was so funny because I said, okay, the ad is in the phone book. I made a little website. I did spend about $1,000 on my website from my savings. I thought that that would be a good place to put money. I'd never had a website with my other businesses, so I'm like, well, I'm going to give this a try. And I do believe in websites. I think they're great, and I think that you should have one. You can get a free one now at ourhypnospace.com with Cal Banyan. So there's no excuse for not having a website now, and a nice one too. And so I got my little website, and I got my little little tiny ad in the phone book because I didn't want to spend a lot of money. And January 1st rolled around, and I went to my front door and I opened it. And I said, I'm open for business. As I looked out of my apartment into the parking lot, I saw the dumpster. And I thought, nobody is ever going to come up these stairs 3 flights by the dumpster and get hypnotized by somebody they don't even know. But boy, was I wrong. The phone just started ringing. People want this work. And they need it. There's nothing else out there like it. And so I just started answering these calls, and I was too scared to take too many people because I was still learning how to do it as I did it. And that's what you'll do. It'll be on-the-job training. And so I only took like two clients a week at first. I think it was about 2 clients a week. And right off the bat, my goal was to make $2,000 a month. Because that's what I needed to make in order to do my share. I had just got married a year before and I hadn't been working. And so I made $1,700 the first month, and after that I more than met that goal, and my monthly income kept increasing. And now this year, it's been 1 year in January. Okay, I started in January 2006, January 2007, I more than tripled that. And I had so many people calling in, I could not even accommodate them. I had to send them off to other hypnotists in the area.
Beautiful. You had a waiting list, right?
Oh, yeah. It went on for weeks and weeks and weeks. Finally, I stopped taking people for the waiting list because I felt sorry for them. I just said, I'm already booked up like 6 or 8 weeks out. Here's a hypnotist. I don't know how good he is. Good luck. I would really love to have more 5-pathers in Texas. That's why I want to teach 5-path. So I have some good people I can recommend.
Beautiful. Hey, Celeste, I really enjoy your enthusiasm. There's people out there that say, oh, you can't go full-time in hypnosis. And you're a prime example that, you go get the training, be enthused about what you're doing, have a positive mental image about what you're doing, think positive thoughts, and you can go out there and you can really, go out there and change people's lives, change your own life and that kind of thing. And to kind of wrap it up, I'd like you to kind of tell us what you wished more people knew about hypnosis, and then I want you to prognosticate and tell us what you see the future of hypnosis to be.
I wish that more people knew that hypnosis works, and it's incredible, and that you want to find somebody who really has the advanced training to get the best bang for your buck, and the way to do that is to find the 5-pathers. Or I would say even people who have been in business and who've trained with Jerry Kine. But do your research, and don't just research what hypnotists say about hypnosis. You know, research what doctors say. Look at how long hypnosis has been called for in so many treatments, and look at the amount of time, how many times it's occurred that people have given up and they tried hypnosis and it worked. You know, they've given up on maybe an illness or maybe given up on something in their life, and then they go to what they, you know, consider to be the last resort, the witch doctor, and then they get resolved. These stories are everywhere. They happen over and over again, and it's not just hypnotists telling them either. And then what I see happening in the future with hypnosis is, I think that as the consciousness in our society and in the world just evolves, we know that, and we've been hearing this for eons, that our answers are within. And hypnosis is a way to help you find your own answers to your own problems, get your own resolve, and cause your life to be better so that you have more success in all sorts of ways. So I think that because of the information age, I mean, it is already happening. I am so delighted and glad that I'm a hypnotist in this age now, because it's just exploding. It's exploding on the internet. More and more people are getting into the business, and I really do think that the future of hypnosis is a hypnotist in every family. That's what I'd like to see. And hypnosis training, at least the components of the mind, an understanding, a mind model that hypnotists use, that should be used in school. And the secret language of feelings, once again, should be taught in schools. And I think it will be one day, Cal.
Wonderful. Hey, Celeste, before we wrap it up, I'd like you to, do you have an office phone number, and maybe mention your website or websites one more time before we sign off for this edition and podcast?
Okay. My office phone number is 972-673-0110. It's on my website. My website is Family First, F-I-R-S-T, hypnosis.com. FamilyFirstHypnosis.com, 972-673-0110. But I guess I don't have to repeat it again, because they can just rewind this video and play it again. It's not like when I was on the radio, huh?
Isn't the internet wonderful? Because they can, you know, it's all interactive and stuff. Okay, thank you, Celeste, for being here on this podcast. I'll turn my attention back to everybody out there in internet land. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening wherever you are. This is Cal Banyan. Please check our websites at calbanyan.com, banyanhypnosismall.com, and hypnosiscenter.com. All right, with that, Cal Banyan signing off. This recording is the property of Cal Banyan and Cal Banyan's Banyan Publishing, Incorporated. All rights reserved. For private use only. May not be duplicated without written permission.